One, at times of great stress or content.
I guess I have to stay out of harm's way and sniff out trouble whenever I sense it.
You're not planning on taking that manuscript out of here.
Of course, I'm not beyond
You
drinking
realize how serious this is.
too, but
You can search me if you like.
That won't be necessary.
sometimes
All right. Let yourself. I'll get one of the
a
boys
fox
to
has to do what he has to do. Been telling a story all over the weekend, this long Memorial Day weekend. And this is the only time I can drink without going to jail, and I'm not a drinker, so I don't want to be pulled over for being intoxicated by walking. I don't drink for real. That's one of my things that I'm kind of proud of. I'm not saying I haven't been a 30-year crack addict that decided enough is enough. Over the last month, I've been clean. Also been clean 5 years, so it's no struggle to rehab and get back on the track of trying to take care of my health in the remaining years that I have. But I was trying to tell my story and warn the public of dope dealers here in Phoenix are a whole different animal. You know, when they latch on to one person like a leech. These are the most untalented people in the world, and it is the same thing with the community in a sense too. By not having any kind of tourist trade here, they tend or problem-solving skills, coping skills to overcome hurdles. They ask for fundraisings at the slightest bit of trouble here. It comes easy to them. They catch most snowbirds off guard, and we're overwhelmed to think that the whole city thinks on the same wavelength. How one town can be synced in criminal activity, which they think that it's a job, but actually it's a illegal hustle, adding up to $3 billion stolen money in fraud, reaching high as the governor. He used $3 billion stolen fundraising money to pay off the state debt and to lower taxes. Then he said that a suspecting 180 businesses are coming to Phoenix, and he was going to be by the punch bowl. This is what he said verbatim. This Super Bowl thing, when we had one here before, all I've seen happening is identity theft and black people going to jail. Now, 2020 is gonna really be a time for blacks to stay in the house, and people welcome into the city to really watch what they're doing. We have stage accidents up here. We have lawyers interact, get a check up here that know about all the stage accidents. We have Sanderson Ford promoting that they do so much for veterans, and the only veterans they do anything for is the veterans that's born here. The only surprise squad that surprise people are the people born here. The only apology that you get for discrimination from Channel 3, you would have to be born here. And when I went to them with the proof of how these people were dying on waiting list at the Phoenix VA and told them about it the night before, all they said was thanks for the heads up.
Several times last night.
Me being naive, I came in the next day.
And the hotel room?
Heidi jumps up on the desk where where you could see her panties, and I don't think she had any on, playing like I was Bin Laden.
Eventually they'll discover
The other news people come out,
that would be horrid for you.
panicking. I leave the news place confused and walk down, turn left out of the
So we put Mike McCall.
news place, which is a muffler place, disguised as a news studio, Channel 3.
We haven't had a chance to
Walk down to the light rail,
The seats have been changed now.
and by the time I got to the light rail, calling 10, 12, 15,
What do you want? Besides, you're right.
they had all killed a story.
Settle in and then come up and join us. Your
In my military records, I'm suicidal. I tried to run my Corvette into a wall in Wisconsin. It's kind of heartbroken from my family thing. And
So here's the score. You're not being charged.
so I called day after day wondering what I did wrong.
The only thing the prosecutor
And
is
the only explanation
formal investigation.
they came up with was someone came in years ago there with a confession of murder over the phone, and that's why they treated me like they treated me. But I wonder how many other people they had confessions of murder over the phone that they just let walk out and not even call the police. So what it told me is it sounded ridiculous to the lady saying it to me at the time she was saying it as it was for me to hear it. I go to the AANCP trying to get some kind of justice in how they treated me. They're only on a volunteer basis, and I really believe that was just Channel 3 and some unknown news person come to my house to see what I had on them. I called Governor Ducey, which I thought was a great man, and leave a message, 2 messages, matter of fact. He waits till he gets to Yarnell dedication or something, and Channel 3 was covering the story. I heard him say, I ain't got time to listen to 2 or 3 messages, and I knew that he was talking about me. Channel 3 is his spin doctor, I guess. It is just really a shame how the whole thing was handled. Now, this happened over a year ago, and I still haven't got an apology. Or it happened when they moved from 7th Avenue, so-called combined themselves with Channel 5 to make a better news team. What it was, instead of them saying they were sorry or getting sued, they took the phone logs and the security tape and they moved out of that building. That was their solution to solving the problem. Now, every now and then, you'll hear about them combined with Channel 5, but for the most part, they didn't have an FCC license, is what I think. And most news stories that they were telling was fake news. They made it up themselves. They promoted illegal fundraisings. They're in tight with Valley Toyota for promoting different things that they're going to give away, but they only give away things to the community. When they say Arizona take care of their own, they mean that literally. And so one day I called Sanderson Ford, and I kind of befriended the secretary, and she said, you know, the reason why you don't win nothing is you're not born here. And I got really upset and asked to talk to her supervisor about a year or 2 ago, and she still hasn't called me back. But the very next day, she made Mr. Sanderson Ford and a high-ranking female stood in front of the TV cameras and said that they don't have any problem with anybody. They've been doing business with the people in Phoenix for years. Now, for them to all of a sudden have a commercial like that, I knew that it had an effect on what I had found out. Also, get a wreck, get a check lawyers from years ago, being on the wrong side of the law in Chicago. We started out with a little crew of people. One had a car in the front with the toggle switch hooked to the brake lights, and one would ride with your bumper, and a lawyer downtown on the north side knew about it, and we would get in a wreck and get paid. Now that was in the 70s. We were doing that. My brother actually, and up here, if you watch any accident, it is always somebody from another part of Arizona, or somebody in a rent-a-car, and or somebody with the plates of the town they came from. If you had Chicago plates on your car, there's no way in hell that you can come here on vacation and not be in a wreck. I asked you to pay attention when you see a wreck on any expressway here. Pay attention to the license plates of the cars, of the two cars involved, and you will see that one's from here and one's from another part of Arizona or another state, period. When you can say on TV, in a wreck, get a check, what that says to me is you're always right if you're a person from Arizona and you're going to get paid. Now, it's a lot of circumstances, and that's why they call them accidents. And when you're involved in something like that, you can't be so confident to just call once and know that you're going to get paid from an accident, unless it's something illegal. You can't go to emergency chiropractors and not pay any money unless the lawyers sent you there. See, we did that, or let me say my brother did that. I was a little young to be in that criminal organization, but I knew about it. The lawyers send you to a certain doctor, say that you got back problems, neck problems, or whatever. It is the same thing going on with emergency chiropractors, because who goes to emergency chiropractors to get tuned up to only go back to work to pay the bill themselves? So they're in cahoots with in a wreck, get a check. All you have to do is fake a couple of things. It puts you in line to get paid. Just like the marijuana dispensaries. You go there, you pay $150 for a marijuana card. Anybody can get that card, but you have to go and be sent to one of their so-called physicians to diagnose that you really need this marijuana. Once you do that, legally you can have a marijuana card. Same principle. And a lot of times they don't expect anybody to say anything about it, or a lot of people are so gullible that or so overwhelmed to think that a whole town can be on the same wavelength of ripping the unsuspected tourist or visitor off in their city. And by the time they find out about it, they feel so duped in and so stupid. A lot of times they just pay what they have to pay and never come back to this town again, is what this whole video is about. Thank you.